Hey guys, Dr. Kozer here, and we're going to be covering a very common structural shift of the spine. This one is specifically for posterior thoracic translation. So this spinal posture is one of the most common in Americans, and it's pretty much the one that I am battling the most. So what these people look like on the outside is essentially curved over at the back, where essentially the spine shifts too far backwards, putting too much weight backwards and also causing the head to go forward. So a couple of things that this leads to as far as how it damages the neck is resulting in migraines, can result in headaches, numbness and tingling in the hands, severe bony proliferation throughout the thoracic spine, early onset disc decay and degeneration, instability of the low back, numbness, weakness, and tingling in the legs, as well as a myriad of other conditions. Those are just the ones I can think of. Oh, decreased lung capacity and increased rate of mortality. So that one was essentially discovered by Dr. Deborah Cato, medical doctor out of UCLA. So very important that we get this thing fixed. So how do people get this spinal configuration, this structural shift of the spine? Most commonly, I see it in people that have desk jobs, or I see it a lot in truck drivers, things like that. And it's where you end up having to lean too far backwards to drive, or when you sit in a chair, as opposed to sitting up nice and tall like you're supposed to, you essentially have your butt scooted forward and you lean back and you just relax. So I see a lot of people who sit a little too much have this spinal configuration too. So it can be a variety of different things. So you always want to focus on, hey, what is my spine doing right now? Everything that you do, if you're working on an assembly line, for example, and you feel that you're bent over working on these packages all day long, maybe try to either bring the work up closer to you if possible, or bring yourself closer to the work so you can have a little bit of a bend in the knee. So as opposed to bending forward like this, just kind of squat your legs down just a little bit and maybe work on it like that. Or just try maybe doing a lunge position, or try to do something that will save your spine and nervous system. Because we do not have spine replacement surgery, so we need to do something to keep the one that we got, keep it functioning as well as we can, because our spine is the core strength of our body. If we let it go to pot, the rest of us goes to pot, okay? So we've kind of talked about why we want to do this, because it causes harm to our body. We talked about how you get it, which is usually a result of sustained spinal loading in a very bad collapsed in position. So now we need to talk about how to fix it. So obviously we do the EAT protocol, exercises like what we do on the wobble discs and what we're teaching you how to do this at home. Number two, the adjustment, which essentially helps break up those interarticular fixations, helps loosen up the spinal cord again, mainly the spinal bones, and then alleviate tension off your spinal cord and nerves, very important. And then the last one is spinal traction. If we don't do all three, we do not get the results that we need. So it's very important that we get all of them done so that you get the best benefit and have the least pain-free life, and essentially the best functioning spine, nervous system, and just how your body functions as a whole will improve if we improve every other aspect of your life, okay? So I mainly do this two different ways. One of them is kind of like the Fonzie, which is if I taught you how to do your wobble disc exercises. It's the one where we have you roll forward, stick your sternum up and out, arms back like this, and then look it up towards the ceiling. That's the first one. And if you have a wobble disc at home, that's essentially how we do it. Now the other one is more of a standing exercise. So it's a mirror image exercise. So if you are commonly like this, with the shoulders rolled forward, spine collapsing in on itself, reducing lung capacity, or head going forward, what I like to do is bring the shoulders back, up and above, bring the head back, and push this out. So what we're doing is we do not want this, so we want that. We want to push our bottom backwards, stick our sternum up and out, and bring our head back and arms back. Because as opposed to all of this, this is awful. We do not want this. We want that. So that is a very simple exercise. Now, how long do we do it? So I typically do this exercise for about 5 seconds. Hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and relax. Now you don't want to go back into your original posture. You don't want to go back to this. You want to go back to normal. So this is normal, ear above shoulder above hip. So the exercise one more time. Step one, we're going to lean our bottom backwards because it's too far forward. we want to lean our bottom backwards, stick our sternum up and out, have our arms above head so it really stretches those arms, really stretches the mid-back, really strengthens all that backwards muscle because it's all weak, and then look up towards the ceiling. So we want to do this. Now, if you have a structural shift of the neck as well, you don't have to worry about doing 100 of those exercises and then 100 of these, because you can do them at the same time. So how do we do that? So the easy one, the easy structural shift of the neck exercise, because there's two, and you'll see them on either YouTube or in the practice member only area. The first one is where we just rock our head back one bone at a time, feeling each bone fall back until we're looking directly up the ceiling. You can do this exercise in conjunction with this one. So if you have this and a loss of neck curve, the double whammy, it's really helps you take care of both. But if you need the advanced neck curve exercise, this is how you do it. So step one, we do the advanced neck curve exercise where we stick our head forward, look up, down and back. That's step one. And then step two, drop the hips back, stretch it up towards the ceiling, and return to normal. So I'll do that one more time because it's fairly complicated. Step one, head forward. Step two, look up. Step three, down and in. And now, posterior translation exercise. So that is how we fix the posterior thoracic spinal shift. Okay? So now if you have a difficult time with this, or you need any pointers, or it's causing you pain, or any of those other things, just ask us how to modify it to where you get the benefits associated with doing this exercise. It's very important that we try to get 100 of these in a day and do them in sets of 25. If you do them all 100 at once, like we said in the neck exercise videos, it can cause a little bit more mayhem than intended. So start off slow. Start off somewhere between 10 and 20 reps at a time, and then do them 4 or 5 times a day. Eventually, you want to get up to 25 reps 4 times a day. Once in the morning, once before lunch, once after lunch, and once before you go to bed. That will give you the best chances of getting out of pain, reducing risk of any of those other conditions that we named, and having the most pain-free and essentially the healthiest life from here on out that you can achieve. So, and then this is essentially Dr. Kozer signing out, and then essentially look for any of the other videos that we essentially mentioned to you that might be able to help you with your spinal configuration, okay? May the force be with you.